Let's start with owner Mark Davis and Brady possibly wanting to make this happen. On Davis's end, he had a deal for Brady and tied in Ron Gronkowski to come to Vegas back in 2021, but it was nixed by then head coach John Gruden. Then the big Gruden controversy happened and he was fired. Then Davis hired darn near the whole New England Patriots coaching staff with Josh McDaniels as the head coach. I believe that was in preparation for Brady's contract to run out with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, whom he just won a Super Bowl with in 2021, but he retired. So he didn't become a Raider like Davis wanted him to, and the Raiders' next 2 years weren't pretty, so the head coach was fired, and here we are. Brady owns a part of the Las Vegas Aces and will soon own a part of the Raiders. That wouldn't be the case if Davis didn't think the world of Brady, so I'm sure he's going to do all he can to make Brady a Raider. On Brady's end, he just said he wouldn't mind playing again a couple of weeks ago, and the Raiders were the first team he mentioned when asked about possible destinations. He's been training as if he were going to play since he retired too. There's footage of it. The Las Vegas Raiders are coming off the best draft they've had in a long time, but all some people could do is cry about them not getting a quarterback. Look, you can't trade up with a team that would rather pick a quarterback than trade down. Think about it. 6 quarterbacks were taken with the first 12 picks with no draft day trades. What in the world was GM Tom Telesco supposed to do? He inquired about trading up before the draft and on draft day, but teams weren't going to part with their picks easily. And at the same time, this guy named Tom Brady just might want to come back and play for the Raiders. Look, I'm not saying that's what I want to happen, so don't come into my comments with a bunch of BS. But there are too many funny things happening for us to think it's not a possibility. You want more evidence? We all thought the Raiders were looking for a quarterback this offseason, but all they did was build around one. The defense was number 1 in the NFL over the second half of last year, and they got interior defensive lineman Christian Wilkins in free agency. They got some good prospects in the draft at corner too, so the defense will be there. On offense, of course, they have Devontae Adams at one receiver and Jacoby Myers at the other, or they could put Trey Tucker in for speed. Then there's Michael Mayer, one tight end, and they just drafted Brock Bowers to be the other. And with Zamir White at running back, the offense will be similar to the great 12 personnel offenses Brady's had in the past. Adams would have the role of Randy Moss. Tucker would have the role of Dante Stallworth. Mayer would have the role of Gronkowski, and Bowers would have the role of Aaron Hernandez. The Raiders completed their offensive line by drafting Jackson Powers Johnson in the second round to play right guard too. You know Brady isn't looking to waste his time on a rebuild, so this is the best opportunity for him to step into. Or are the Raiders building all this around O'Connell? If you look at their money situation right now, it fits too. According to SpotRack, the Raiders are $18 million and some change under the salary cap, and that's with the money allocated to the draft picks already factored in. Oh my goodness, and guess what happens June 1st? The salary cap hit for Jimmy Garoppolo, who was a colossal free agent bust last year, is coming off the books, so that's another $24 million. I flunked the kindergarten math class when I was in college, but I believe that's somewhere around $42 million the Raiders will have in cap room. If you look at all the free agents, there isn't a big name still out there that's going to command that type of money. The guys that can command that type, or at least a big chunk of that type of money, have already been signed. The Raiders don't have a bunch of holes to have to spend all that money on a group of players either. As of right now, the Raiders are just a quarterback away, and I'm not talking about a guy like Ryan Tannehill. Brady's going to own part of the Raiders sooner or later, so he just might give his future team a home discount. His age would knock the price down a little bit too. Again, this is not my idea or even a suggestion on my part. There are just a few things that smell funny here. All the way up to the draft, it looked like the Raiders were going to trade up to try to get a quarterback until they didn't. But a couple of weeks ago, Brady said he wanted to play again and mentioned the Raiders as one of his top destinations. Now, we can talk about what Telesco and Pierce want, but this is Davis's team and he's wanted Brady for a few years now. Does he have him? The Raiders drafted like it's win now and they already have a quarterback. Or do they believe in O'Connell or Gardner Minshew? Thank you for watching. See you next time.